Good evening, friends. So, I have been thinking about this capacity that we develop through mindfulness meditation and mindfulness training, as such, to actually insert a pause between stimulus and response. Typically, when we are in a situation that we did not expect, we go on autopilot, right? There is something that happens and we immediately react. And mindfulness actually allows us to develop the capacity, even when we are probably bothered with something and it actually impacts us, even then the capacity to put a pause. And the pause may be in different ways. One of the simplest ways to insert a pause is to actually take a cycle of deep breath. Now, I have recently come across the notion of something called as propensity. Propensity is the capacity that we have inside us to generate reactions and emotions that we might have not actually thought we have within us. For instance, you might be attacked by a bout of jealousy, and you might think, oh, jealousy is not something that actually exists in my emotional landscape. And then something happens. There are certain causes and conditions that come together, and then comes the attack of jealousy and all the other things that happen because of that. I came across a very interesting experience in my recent past, and I was attacked by something that I didn't expect I had the propensity for. I have led my life quite, as an independently minded woman, and doing the sort of things that I wanted and making the sort of decisions that I, decided, etc. And then I was struck by this propensity when certain causes and conditions came together, and that was a propensity for longing. And that, that sense of belonging and longing made me say and do things that would be quite irrational, actually. I wouldn't actually have thought that I would say and do those things until that actually happened. That's I think somewhere, and don't get me wrong, don't think that you can actually control the propensities. They lie actually deep in our subconscious and unconscious, and they only come out when certain causes and conditions come together, right? Some people might say when some planets actually align. What we can do, and what mindfulness offers us the possibility for, is when these causes and conditions come together and you're going to react in a particular way, you're going to tell yourself a story, you're going to say and do certain things that you possibly will regret later. The mindfulness practice allows you to put a pause in between. That's all it does. Sometimes, however, when the capacity of putting the pause may offer you then the gift of not being subject to these emotions, and instead the capacity to look at them more objectively. Now, this is a practice that takes quite some time. It actually needs to be repeated over time to become second nature to you. But that's something that I'd really encourage you to do. The next time that the causes and conditions come into place, when you react in a way that you don't normally react, just try to see if you can stop for a moment, pause for a moment, and take one cycle of breath. And maybe, just maybe, you may react in a different way. I wish you all the best with that. I know that it is a continuous struggle for me, and that is a practice that I need to continue for quite some time before it becomes second nature. I wish you a good evening. Bye.